What's going on, everybody? This is Sports Zone Media with your hosts, Ernie and Justin. Tomorrow is our boy Ernie's birthday, so hopefully the day it comes out, it'll still be his birthday, March 7th.
Yep.
I want to wish him a very happy birthday.
Thank you.
Love you, brother, and hope you have a good one.
Yep. The big 2-fold tomorrow, baby.
Kobe.
R.I.P.
But today today our video is going to be about our top 10 MLB players. We'll give you our reasons why. We'll give you the reasons why we left some guys out and put some guys in. And yeah, we're just gonna, if y'all have y'all's own opinions, y'all put them in the comments. So I'll let you start out with yours.
Yeah. Well, first off, I think we should start off with the MLB top 10 on what they put out, and then we could do ours. The MLB top 10 for this year was number 10, Julio Rodriguez. Number 9, Garrett Cole. Number 8, Yordan Alvarez, Air Yordan, baby. Number 7, Juan Soto, the New York Yankee, baby. Number 6, Corey Seager, World Series champion. Number 5, Freddie Freeman. Number 4, Shohei Ohtani. Number 3, Aaron Judge. Number 2, Mookie Betts. And number 1, Ronald Acuna Jr., who went off last year. Okay, so, I think the list is all right. I don't know if I would have put Julio Rodriguez in the top 10, but that's just me. I feel like they left some guys out, and I don't know. I'm more of a offensive guy. I like hitters who hit for power and for a decent average. So I think for me personally, I think Corey Seager probably shouldn't even have made it either. But that's just me.
I don't see how Matt Olson didn't make it.
Exactly. And yeah, my top 10 is I probably should have numbered it a little better, but my number 10 is Matt Olson. He went off last year. Let's see, I think he had around 54 bombs last year. Yeah, 283 average, 54 bombs, 139 RBIs, which is crazy, and wasn't even in the MLB top 10. Crazy, so great get for either way, Freeman or Olson, they're both producing, but they got Olson for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, 100%. But it's kind of crazy to me when you think about it. In my opinion, the Braves are the two top guys for the NL MVP on their roster last year.
Yeah.
And obviously they still do. So I think Olson's gonna have another big year.
Oh yeah, I mean Olson, he's a dog. I mean he's been a dog his whole career. Obviously, it didn't work out in Oakland, and obviously the Braves swooped him up, and he's paying off for the Braves. So, congrats to the front office on moving on from Freeman, which a lot of fans did not like, but the move paid off, and thankfully it did.
Do you want me to go ahead and do my number 10? We'll do you 10, my 10, go like that to compare. That way nobody forgets who said who.
Whatever you want to do, man. I mean, don't matter.
I'll go ahead and mention my top 10, my number 10.
Right.
So my number 10 guy is Corey Seager. I know you mentioned you might not have put him in that list. I'm putting him in that list because he played great in the postseason.
Yeah.
He had a great year. He's good enough in the field as a shortstop. And the dude's got pop in his bat. I just think he's a stud. The Rangers don't win the World Series last year without him. And if they want to compete this year, he needs to be healthy. I think he's a big piece of that team, along with Sibian, a few other guys, Garcia, hoping to see Langford there sooner than later. But I think Corey Seager is kind of the glue to maybe give him a chance to go back-to-back. Yeah. And maybe not even a chance to go back-to-back, but at least compete for an AL pennant. Win the AL West again. There's no telling. There's a lot of potential for Texas to build here, and I think Corey Seager can be the centerpiece for that.
Gotcha. I mean, Seager, one of the probably top 5 shortstops in the league, so I understand where you're coming from. At number 9, I have Freddie Freeman. He 331 last year, 29 home runs and 102 RBIs in the Dodgers lineup. I mean, that's pretty dang good. 331? That's insane.
Where was he hitting in the lineup? Was it like five, or was he hitting high in the lineup?
No, I'm pretty sure it's
He
because
might have been hitting like two or three.
it had to be behind Betts. It had to be,
Yeah,
but yet, Freeman is my number nine. His entire career, he has been consistent. I mean, high batting average, pretty decent amount of home runs, but man, just the way he makes contact with the ball, his stance is a little funky, but it works, So just great for the Dodgers. Great signing by the Dodgers. Everybody wasn't really happy about Freeman going to LA. Everybody wants to go to LA right now. And I mean, you look at Otani going to LA, Yamamoto going to LA, Oscar Hernandez going to LA. I mean, it's insane right now what the Dodgers are doing.
but Freeman did it
Right,
before all this,
right.
which they probably pitched it to him when they were trying to sign him.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
to Freeman's credit, he did it before.
yeah.
He's about to go into his third year with LA.
Yeah, let's see if the Dodgers can get a World Series. I mean, if they don't win a World Series, it's like, why are you spending all this money if you can't get over the hump? You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of like the Yankees. I mean, Yankees are spending money, and what are you doing?
Yep. 100%. So my nine is Matt Olson. So I put him at nine. You put him at 10. Um, I just think he's better than a number 10 player in the MLB. He showed that last year.
Yeah,
He was always good in Oakland, always. Um, Obviously he was acquired when the Braves really didn't want to pay Freddie what he was wanting to be paid. The deal has worked out great for the Braves, and it's like I've said in previous videos, the Braves are my pick to win the NL. The reason being, I haven't seen enough from the Dodgers. I haven't seen them all play together. You know,
right,
uh,
right. And too
never
many
know how it's going to
superstars.
go.
I mean, you look at the NBA. I mean, just because you got LeBron, AD, and Russell Westbrook, that doesn't mean it's going to work out.
Right.
So
Just because James and KD doesn't mean it's going to work out.
yeah,
So I think Olson is arguably one of the he's one of the best power hitters in the league. But the 283 average is what sticks out to me. A lot of these guys that you see hit so many bombs have a kind of 250-ish batting average a lot of the time. It's like it's either a gone or it's a long pop out or it's a strikeout. And that's what but with Olson it doesn't feel that way. He finds the gaps a lot of the time.
hmm
Um I think if Atlanta wants to win a championship, they need another year like last year. I mean, last year he played out of his mind. He doesn't have to hit 54 homers.
right,
He could probably hit 30 and be doing his part on that good of a team.
right.
But I'm just saying, if they can get production even close, if they can get 40 bombs out of Olson, another 110 plus ribby season, obviously he had what 139 last year. If he can have another year like last year, the Braves they're going to be looking good, and I think LA is going to be a little frightened. Say I don't know. It's going to be very exciting to see because I think Olson is the key piece if Atlanta wants to get over the hump with LA this
Yeah,
year, because obviously that's the speed bump in the road for everybody in the NL. Will be the Dodgers.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the Braves. You have Braves coming out the NL. I think I have the Phillies coming out the NL this year. They've came really close last couple of years. I think they're hungry. They have a fully healthy Bryce Harper this year. He
Let's
did
hope it
not,
stays that way.
yeah, he did not crack the top 10 because of a down year, but it's Bryce Harper. So you can't count the man out. But we'll see what happens. But at number 8, I have Jordan Alvarez, baby. Houston Astro. Last year he hit 293, 31 home runs, 97 ribbies. I mean, the dude, all he does is rake, and
Uh-huh.
he came from the Dodgers.
Yeah,
I don't remember the trade, but um it was kind of lopsided now.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Well, I don't think anybody ever really expected Alvarez to be what he is now. They definitely didn't expect him to hit 297. And the crazy thing about Alvarez is the fact that when you hear his name, 31 bombs almost sounds like a down year.
yeah, yeah. I was about to say, he's usually between 35 to 40 bombs. 100 RBI guy, and he's very capable of that. Last year he had some injuries, but I mean this is a guy who rakes year in and year out.
Yeah.
And I hate saying that because he's an Astro, but I mean, you know, got to put my
He
Yankee.
he wasn't involved in that.
Yeah, no, I got to put my
But
Yankee hate to the side, and appreciate what this guy's doing on the field.
yeah, and he kind of reminds me of David Ortiz a lot. Um, he's so clutch in the playoffs. He's so good.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know, when it's a clutch situation, he's going to come up
yeah,
and he's going to produce.
yeah, and not only does he hit bombs, but this dude could hit all over the field. He can hit to left, center, and right. So it's not like he's pulling all these home runs and all these base hits. He's hitting them to the Crawford boxes in left field as well.
Yeah. So my number 8 is Freddie Freeman. So once again, I just have him one higher than you did. And the reason being is he just produces year in and year out. I'm not going based just off of last season because we're not saying best players 2023. We're just saying the best players in the MLB, and that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
So I have Freddie Freeman at 8. You can argue him higher or lower, and that's fine if you feel that way. But I feel like he's the number 8 best player in the league. He produces so well. He plays almost every day. I can't really remember a season where Freddie didn't play a majority of his team's games.
He stays healthy.
And there's nothing really much more for me to say, but he's Mr. Consistent.
Yeah,
But his consistent is just a high level of play.
yeah,
That's real I got to say about Freddie. His resume speaks for itself, and
yeah,
his stats speak for itself.
yeah. I mean, there's a reason why he got paid in LA.
Yeah,
So number 7 for me, I have Juan Soto, New York Yankee guy. I don't know, maybe he don't belong in the top 10, but maybe I might be Yankee fan in here. But for him to be in that short porch in right field, I think he could very easily hit 40 bombs this year. Last year, he hit 275, 35 bombs, and 109 RBIs. And that
yeah,
was in San Diego, and this is him coming to New York, smaller right field porch. All he has to do is pull the ball, and it's like a pop fly hits right field and it's gone.
yeah.
So
I left Soto off of my list for a couple of reasons. He's been injured here recently. He's missed some time in the
yeah,
last few years. He started off last year really slow, so his
yeah,
stats ending the year are actually really impressive. The more I think about it,
right,
because I remember at one point last year I was like, Soto screwed himself out of some big money when he
right,
rejected the Nationals trade, but now
yeah.
if he can have a big year this year, it'll pay off. Whether it's in New York or not, I'm just not ready to put him in my top 10 yet because he is so young, and yeah, he has been doing it for a while. Being a very good player, but if he can have a season where he plays 140 games and he can put up 40 to 45 bombs, heck yes, he's a top 10 player. But I'm
Well,
just not ready to put him in here yet.
last year he played all the games last year.
Yeah, no, he just started off so
Yeah,
slow,
yeah, yeah.
but
And
he's in prime position to put up the numbers he needs to get to the number that he wants in his bank account.
I think he'll get five, 500 mil.
Mm.
Max, maybe six, depending how long it's for, he might get six.
But if he gets 6, it has to be like a 15-year
Right,
deal
right.
with 40 million over because I don't see him getting paid more than Aaron Judge.
You know what? I if it means keeping Soto, I can definitely see it because
Okay, but are you speaking from a place that makes sense? Or are you speaking because you're a Yankee fan and you want to keep Soto so bad?
well, here's the thing. You gotta look at the previous captain and Derek Jeter. All right. And who they traded for. They traded for Alex Rodriguez. A Rod signed a bigger contract than Jeter did, and Jeter was the captain.
Yeah.
Jeter was all about, getting guys to win around the team and Judges too. I'm sure Judge doesn't really care that he's not the highest paid on the team. I mean, the markets are different. You know what I mean? You look at Bryce Harper. He's looking to get a contract extension because back when he signed his deal, it was good. But now that the market's a little better, He's trying to get more money. He's trying to get that stable of, I guess, stable stability in life to make sure he's good to go in Philadelphia. That he could,
Yeah,
if he retired now, I think he would retire a Philly. That's what I'm trying to get at. He wants
yeah,
to retire a Philly.
yeah. Where are we at? 7?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Jordan Alvarez. Once again, I just went one higher than you did. He's a very good player, and like I said, he hit what 293 last year or 297.
293.
293. 293 is impressive for a guy that can hit the ball 450 feet at any given moment. To me,
Yeah.
because these guys have the reputation of swinging and missing, pop outs, just getting under balls. So he can find the kind of why where I have him, because just like Freeman, he has a very good, consistent batting average. He's so clutch in the playoffs. He's a Red Sox killer. He's just a really good player, and I think he's only going to get better. And I expect him next year to be higher on my list. To be completely honest with you.
Yeah, he's at 7 for you, so you know he might crack the top 5 for me next year, just depending on who the
Goes
guys.
on.
Yeah. The guys I have at 5 and 6, just depending on how they do if they stay on the field. I probably should have put Alvarez in my top 5, but these guys have been in the game for a very long
Well,
time.
same here because I have the same two guys.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
yeah. Number 6, I have Bryce Harper. Last year, coming off a Tommy John surgery, he was delayed for the first part of the season, so he only hit 293, 21 bombs, and 72 ribbies, which is actually pretty good because of what he had to go through. I mean, for a while he wasn't hitting no bombs. So people was kind of worrying, like, hey, he had the surgery. Is it affecting his hitting?
Right.
So it takes time to recover a big surgery like that. And once he started rolling, he became the MVP that we all know.
Yeah.
You know, I like Art Bryner. He wasn't in the MLB top 10, but this is Bryce Harper we're talking about. This is the guy who's been in the top 10 for probably most of his career. And, you can't hate the guy for having a Tommy John surgery. And for me, I'm a big fan of Harper, so it's hard for me not to put him in my top 10.
Yeah. My 6 is Mike Trout, and he was left out as well. My thing was, I don't know if it's nostalgia for my childhood or what. I cannot keep Mike Trout out of my top 10. He's been so good for so long.
Yeah.
Arguably the best baseball player in the world. Arguably one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. Um, I don't think he's getting the love and the respect that he deserves from baseball because he's had injuries.
Yeah.
His my NFL comparison to Mike Trout would be like J.J. Watt. He's unreal when he plays, but when he's
Mhm.
hurt, it's usually pretty bad. So I just think Trout's an all-time great, and I think we need to appreciate him while we still got him. He's in his 30s now. We've watched him grow up as a player. He's
Yeah.
done it in Anaheim the whole time. And right, it's his time to take back over. Shohei's gone. He moved across the city. It's time for him to take over and remind everybody that he's one of the best players in the world.
Yeah. I agree with you. Number 5, I have Mike Trout. I guess, you know, I could have put Harper in front of Trout because of the team situation, but I feel like Trout is a little better than Harper in a little bit. Obviously, they've been compared their whole careers. They came up pretty much at the same time. Obviously, Trout was hurt last year. Only had 18 bombs, 44 RBIs, and hit 263, which is a very down year for Trout. Obviously, we all know he's capable of 35, 40 bombs, 100 RBI guy. But
And you got to put his base running in there too. That's a
yeah,
sneaky part of his game that I think a lot of people sleep on as well.
yeah. Well, last year he only had 2 stolen bases. Him stealing bases, I don't want to say it's in the past, but his body he's not a small dude. This dude weighs 235 pounds. So he's a
Mhm.
big dude. And he's only 6'2". He's got a lot of muscle on him. So carrying all that muscle, trying to run these bases, obviously the bases are bigger now. So maybe this year he'll, coming in healthy, and maybe he'll get that back this year, But yeah, like I said, like you said, watching him grow up, I love watching Mike Trout. I know we used to watch Mike Trout reels, and man, just a baller. This dude is a baller. All he does is ball, and I hope he can stay healthy. He's one of the greats in the game, and I hope um, him and the Angels work something out. If not, he could always come to New York. He's from New Jersey, So let's go, baby. Come on, come to New York.
That's but one thing that I love about Trout that I didn't mention in my segment about him. He's such a loyal guy. He has never made it public that he's unhappy with the organization. I watched an interview that he did, just like 20-second clip.
Yeah,
And they were asking him, "So what's your plan?" He said, "My plan is to be in Los Angeles Angel."
yeah,
He said, if the right situation pops up and they trade me, then that's how it's gonna be. But for right now, I'm an Angel.
yeah.
I just respect that about him because
And props to him.
he 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 could leave. He could force his way out like a lot of guys have, take the
Oh,
easy
yeah,
way out, but he doesn't
yeah,
want to do that. And
yeah.
maybe when he gets a little bit older and that championship window's closing, but for right now, he seems content.
And
So
I
my
tell you,
number five, yeah,
no, go ahead, go ahead.
my number five is Bryce Harper. I have him at five, and it's no fault to Mike Trout at all. I mean, the guy, he's balled his whole career. Unfortunately, a lot of the time he had with Otani, he was hurt, which stinks because they could have done crazy things together, but we'll never know. So Bryce Harper, I have him at five because of the recent success in the playoffs. Obviously, last year they lost. The year before they lost in the World Series,
Yeah,
and he was electric. He was incredible in the playoffs in 2022. That's like a clutch factor in him that
yeah.
I respect him. Mike Trout is just my overall favorite player ever. So to put not my favorite player ever, but my favorite player in very long besides David Ortiz, probably my favorite player ever. Him and Joey Votto. So for
JDV.
me to put Bryce Harper all above him kind of hurt, but I'm just looking at it as a pure statistical and analytic standpoint of who's had more success and who's won more games. And that's not, like I said, it's not a knock on Trout. He can't play all nine positions and bat, or
Now, I want to
so
say Trout's only ever played in one postseason game,
yeah.
compared to Bryce Harper, who has played in a World Series game.
He made it to the playoffs with the Nats. Of course, they never really had any success, but he made it there.
I'm pretty sure the year after the Nats won the World Series after he left.
And he then said, "I told you I was going to Nationals and championship, whether I was there or not."
Yeah, so at number 4 for me is Mookie Betts. Man, pretty sure he set a career high in home runs. He hit 307,
Yeah, he did. He did.
39 home runs, 107 RBIs. Dude can do it all. I mean, this dude, he's a dude. I mean, he's one of the best in the league. Not only can he hit for bombs, he stole 14 bases, and he's one of the greatest, probably baseball bowlers there is. I mean, this dude could bowl like crazy. He scores 300s. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he does.
It's like near perfect. It's crazy. I mean, this dude is so talented. This dude went from the outfield to playing second base this year for the Dodgers.
He's just an athlete. He just got a hairline like you, man.
Yeah, yeah,
That's his only flaw.
yeah.
My number four is
Yeah.
my number four is Mookie as well. Pretty much everything that you said. I'm sure you miss him in the AL East.
Heck no, heck no. I
Who's your number
remember
three? Oh, sorry.
I was watching Yankee and Red Sox games, and Mookie be up to bat, and I just, if we was playing at Fenway and he was up to bat, man, I just knew the game was over. I know there was a game. I don't remember when it was. It was a long inning game, and it was Red Sox.
It was a
And
19 inning game.
yeah,
I stayed up and watched the whole game.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure Mookie killed us that game.
Yeah.
And man, those were very tough. Whenever Mookie was with the Red Sox, man, I don't miss that.
But it's crazy to think the downfall of the Red Sox because besides Wong, nobody in that deal is with the Red Sox anymore. So
But
it's got to be a tough pill to swallow. Austin.
really, the Yankees won that deal because now Verdugo and Jeter Downs is with the Yankees. So thank you, LA, and thank you, Boston.
Wasn't Jeter down with the Nationals for a little bit too?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he got released by Sox or what, but we got him off waivers, I believe. So who number four? You had Mookie.
Yeah.
All right, number three for me probably could be number two, but for me, it's gonna be Aaron Judge. Last year he hit 267, 37 bombs and 75 RBIs, which is pretty good actually because he missed about a month and a half with the toe injury.
He missed
He
a lot of time.
Yeah, he tore a ligament in his foot running into Dodger Stadium. Uh, I'm pretty
Vince,
sure it
huh?
was, yeah, the fence. He smashed his foot into like a cement or something. It's like
Uh-huh.
cement, and like now they're saying Judge is gonna have to deal with this the rest of his career.
Yeah. Probably the rest of his life.
Yeah, which is kind of scary to think about,
Yeah.
But yeah, Judge. I mean, if he's healthy, he probably hits close to next year or last
Oh
year.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this dude, he's one of the best. That's why he's the Yankees captain. This is why the Yankees paid him
Yeah.
40 million a year.
Yeah. 100%. I agree with you. I don't mind the ranking. I think he's a stud. I hate that he's in the Bronx.
I'm glad he didn't leave.
I couldn't see him anywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, that dude, he bleeds pinstripes, man. He looks good in pinstripes. And whenever he hits them bombs, boom, baby.
All right. My number three is Ronald Acuna. Um, he's just a stud. I mean, he stole bases last year. How many did he steal? You got the
70,
stats pulled up.
73.
Set the record. I knew he
Yeah.
set the record, but I couldn't remember exactly how many he had. He hits tanks, he hits bombs, he hits for a good average. He can field. He has a cannon. There's nothing he can't do. The only reason I don't have him higher, to be honest, and it's probably unfair to him, but it's just the way I look at it, is the Braves won a World Series with him on the roster and he wasn't on the field. He was injured. So it might not be fair to him for me to look at it that way, but they were able to win it without him. And obviously, it's a different team every year. He's a better player now, probably, but that's just my only reasoning on my next guy who I have at number two on why I have him above Acuna.
Yeah, I mean, Acuna for me, he's at number two. I mean, the dude hit 337, 41 bombs, and 106 RBIs on top of 73 stolen bases. I mean, if you had this dude on your fantasy team, you probably were in the playoffs last year
Yeah,
because this dude did it all. Okay, so yeah, okay, this is the season the Braves were hoping and are always hoping of Acuna. I mean, this guy has always been hyped. He hasn't really lived up to the hype until the last few seasons, I would say. He's starting to figure things out, but now he's a superstar. It's probably one of the best players in the league, besides, of course, Shohei Ohtani.
yeah. So for my number two, anybody who knows me is probably gonna be shocked that I put a Yankee this high on my list, but it's Aaron Judge. And the reason being is when you look at it last year, the Yankees started off the season okay. You know, they were definitely a wild card team in the year last year. Judge misses that month and a half, and all of a sudden you're like, where did the Yankees offense go? And you realize their entire offense seemed to run through 99.
Yeah,
And when you look at it, 2017, the year y'all lost in the ALCS, Judge is a main contributor in that team. Any good team y'all have had since Judge, any deep run team y'all have had, Aaron Judge has been at the forefront of it.
yeah,
And I don't think the Yankees can win without Judge. It say y'all getting
we
if
can.
y'all are yeah, but say y'all are 4 games back in the division and you have Toronto sneaking up behind you. They're 5 games back from Baltimore. So you got a 1 game lead on Toronto, and Baltimore's got you by 4. You can't really afford to lose a game, and then Judge goes down. His toe starts acting up and he's got to miss a week. I
Yeah.
don't trust the Yankees to be able to sustain their number 2 spot or to compete for the number 1 spot. I think Toronto would then go ahead of them. I just think that the Yankees aren't built to work without Judge.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you want. You want to be able to go around your best player.
Yeah.
The only fear is, can he stay healthy?
Yeah, if Judge was out after that toe injury, like say he gets hurt and he's out for the year, the Yankees have a losing season for sure. I mean, they only finished 2 games over 500. You know, this offseason they got some guys. They don't have Jake Bowers. They don't have some of these no name guys anymore. They have uh Soto, who they acquired from San Diego, Alex Verdugo, Trent Grisham. So they got some guys that we know.
Man, I forgot about Grissom.
Yeah, but he's more of a contact speedy defender guy. He's not
But I mean
gonna.
that just gives y'all depth, man. Y'all don't have a lot of that.
No, yeah,
The biggest question with the Yankees is the pitching. That's obviously the biggest question. Judge. After Garrett Cole, where do you go? Is Rodon going to be the same? I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
All right. Well, who's your number 1? I think it's obvious, but let's see.
Number one, I have the one and only magician, Shohei Ohtani. Last year, he went. I don't have the stats pulled up. I only have his pitching pulled up. But he went. He went 10-5, with 132 innings, and struck out 167 guys. But
He would have been a 200 strikeout guy.
oh, absolutely, yeah. But this year, he's not pitching. They're saying he did not have Tommy John. It was just like an elbow reconstruction surgery. So he's not pitching this year. So this is why the top 10 had him at number 4.
Yeah.
But I think either way, Ohtani is the number 1 player in the league. I don't think anybody could take that away from him. I think he's earned the right to be a number 1 until he can't pitch again. I guess he'll always be number 1.
Yeah. So my number 1 guy is the one and the only El Cruz. No, I'm kidding. My number 1 is
Okay.
Shohei Ohtani. My
About to
number
say
1 is
this dude being for
Shohei.
real.
My number 1 is actually Shohei for the exact reasons that you mentioned. He's just good for baseball.
Yeah. And I tell you what, man. What were you saying?
Who else would you want to face the league besides someone like a Judge or I can't think of anybody else or an Acuna? They're fun for baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike Trout too. They're fun for baseball. They're good role models. They never get in any trouble. They just play baseball, and you really don't hear from them in the off season.
Right. And I was gonna say you don't ever hear nothing bad about Ohtani. I mean, this dude seems very, down to earth kind of guy. I mean, he's 29 years old. I mean, so he's still got a little time with us, a lot of time with us if he's DH. So just shout out to him for being a great role model for us and for the leaguers and minor leaguers. And he's my number 1, and he's your number 1 for a reason. So that's our top 10, and we hope you enjoy this video. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching us, and we hope to see you next time.